Lieutenant Fening is going to present.
Actually, I'm presenting.
Okay.
For
A
to
life-saving
Lieutenant
award.
Fening, so she wants to come up.
Oh, it goes to Lieutenant Fening.
Yeah.
All right. Madam Mayor and members of council, thank you for this opportunity. I enjoy getting up here to recognize our officers. One of the problems that I've found with being chief is that I find people are very reluctant to accept the accolades and don't want to come up here and make a big deal out of something they did that they see as just part of their job. So that's a battle I have to fight with them. And as with Lieutenant Fening, who back in June when this happened, she kind of told us a little bit about it, but didn't really reveal all the details. And it wasn't until about 2 months later that I received an email from the Brookville, Ohio fire chief, who kind of filled me in on the full extent of the encounter that occurred. So I'm just going to read you. We're going to award her the Meritorious Service Award or the Life Saving Award, and I'm just going to read you the facts of the case. So on June 1st, 2018, at approximately 15:25 hours, so about 3:25 in the afternoon, it was pouring rain and a tractor trailer had pulled over to the side of the road underneath an overpass on Interstate 70. The Brookville Fire Department was dispatched to Interstate 70 for a motor vehicle collision, and upon their arrival, they found that an SUV had rear-ended the tractor trailer, resulting in extreme damage to the SUV. The driver of the SUV was trapped in the vehicle with poor respiratory effort. During the course of his work to care for and extricate the driver, the Brookville Fire Chief spoke briefly with a woman who was driving what was obviously an unmarked law enforcement vehicle. The woman reported pertinent initial information to responding personnel, and the fire chief ascertained that the woman had stopped to render assistance and in the process extinguished a fire using an extinguisher from her unmarked vehicle. The fire chief later determined that it was Lieutenant Lara Fening who stopped to render aid. So Lieutenant Lara Fening was on her way home from out-of-town training, which actually, I believe, if I recall, was the Town Gown Conference up in Columbus that many of you went to, which had obviously just occurred. She positioned her unmarked patrol vehicle in front of the tractor trailer, ran back towards the accident, confirmed the driver of the tractor trailer was okay, and then went to check on the driver of the SUV. She called 911 to report the accident, and as she was assessing the injured driver, noticed the SUV was smoking. Lieutenant Fening then ran back to her vehicle, retrieved the fire extinguisher from the trunk, and ran back to the SUV and extinguished the fire. She remained with the driver of the SUV until help arrived and then assisted fire department personnel until she was no longer needed. The fire chief is confident that Lieutenant Fening's initial actions bought the victim time. Had the fire gone unchecked, the fire chief is confident they would have arrived to find a well-involved vehicle fire and fatality. The driver of the SUV sustained significant injuries, but is expected to survive. It is evident that the actions of Lieutenant Fening contributed to saving the life of the driver of the SUV. For the police role, it is fitting and deserving that Lieutenant Lara Fening be awarded the coveted Oxford Police Division Meritorious Service Award. The Life-Saving Award consists of a medallion for display and a service bar for daily uniform wear. So she'll, yeah, go ahead.
Congratulations.